Happy winter solstice. 4:03 in Toulouse, December 21st. I don't know exactly what that means. The winter solstice at a certain... It's the shortest day of the year, but a day is 24 hours. Is this the start at 4:03? Is this in the middle? I'm not sure. I usually don't drink before 5, but I can be too tight, too wrapped up into routine. What's the word? What's the line? Moderation in all things, including moderation. So, moving toward the light, more light. I believe this was probably in a lot of places, a celebration of that, of longer days and a warming trend, even though in a lot of places, like where I'm from, Fayetteville, Arkansas, and right here, Toulouse, January is the coldest month. But the days are getting longer, and so just to be thankful for the sun, which keeps us alive, to be humble and thankful, grateful for where we are and what we are. I think that's a good place to be. Be thankful. My mother taught me that better than anybody else. As I've said before, helping her to bed when she had Alzheimer's, and she'd get into bed saying, "Thank you, thank you, thank you," which I say once in a while, mainly because I think it's good karma, and she taught me how. But I'd say, was she thanking the bed that it's warm, or safety, or thanking me, or thanking God, or thanking all of that? Doesn't matter. Just feeling centered and yourself and thankful. We're not here for long. Don't take it for granted. We've taken it for granted. And we've taken citizenship for granted, and so that's why we have these giant concentrations of wealth. Billionaires, not only that, they're getting richer. And most of us this is a society that we've created and supported. And yeah, we might have been fooled by all these lobbyists and lawyers and advertising and what's it called, political operatives, which basically tell lies. So we've been lied to and followed that. That's our own fault. You can figure out what a lie is. And if you're voting like the richest people in the world and you're struggling, you're probably doing something wrong. They're probably not having you at the top of their list on, let's worry about these people. No, there's this crazy, sick fever of greed. You get 1 million, you want 10 million. You get 10 billion, you want 50 billion. You don't even look at over here, what you're doing to these people, ruining these people's lives. And that's a sickness, and that's sad, and it's really bad karma, and if there's a judgment day, it's going to be bad for them. But it's on our backs to understand how human beings should be and love each other and not love money, and create a good society where everybody has food, shelter, and nice shelter, not just, when they say the homeless can go to the shelter, yeah, the shelters. You don't want to live in a shelter. You want your own home. Everybody wants their own home. And they want decent food, not bullshit food that the government, these cold-hearted people, cold. Many of them say they're Christians. And Jesus was a loving person. I've seen a lot of Christians that are really selfish and hateful, cold-blooded. We give these people food. They can go to the shelter if they're cold. Just cold, man. Just heartless. I'm not any religion, because I've seen the past, looked at history, and seen people today doing so many bad things, and they relate it to or they'll fall back on, I am this kind of a religion, and we're better than those guys. We're better than all those other religions. We're better than all those other people. No, you're not. No, you're not. I just read something that was pretty cool. I'm trying to do this kind of a play where I tell my story, at least part of my story, and then the story of government. I thought it was just going to be the Constitution, but I keep going down these rabbit holes. So the first is at the Namu, 2100 BC in Mesopotamia. The first code, the law code that we have that survived. And then the Ishtar, and then the Hammurabi Code, which a lot of people know that. But anyway, at one point I got into the Peasants' Revolt of 1381 in England. And I just printed out some stuff. I need to read it. I haven't really read it, but I need... You want to do a good job. I think Buddha said that. I've washed dishes. I was a damn good dishwasher. Whatever I'm doing, I want to do it well. I mean, why am I even doing it? Yeah, it was a shitty job, low pay. But that was my job. Anyway, the quote, here it is, John Ball. And it says later, I haven't read all of this. It said they followed the sermons of radical cleric John Ball. The sermons of radical, he's a radical cleric. Why is he radical? Because he says, from the beginning, all men by nature were created alike. This is in 1381. All men are created equal, which, of course, now we say all people. Back then, they were very patriarchal, and men are the best, and women are nothing, or if they're not nothing, they're like this compared to men. And luckily, we've grown beyond that. Although it seems like a lot of people today, not just in America but around the world, these ignorant men that want to go back to 1300s, where the women do. I mean, support everybody, support the men, support the women. We want them all to do well. We want everybody to do well. What's the problem? Are you afraid of women doing well? Who cares? If you believe in God, they're a child of God. Are you more of a child of God than they are? Why would God do that? Just because in history we've been taught God, He, it's always He. God is He. God is not a He. God is not a man. God don't look like me or you if you're a man or a woman. I'm going to guess. Of course, I don't know. Nobody knows. But the creator, whatever you want to call it, sure, it's not a he. It's been called he because men were in charge of the church, and they said, let's call it, God must be like us, must be like a man. So I need to stay positive. That's why I wanted to do this, because it's the first day of winter. And also I want you to do things that are positive. What kind of helps you? I'm here in this place where I don't know anybody, don't really speak the language, and I'm enjoying parts of it, but then parts of it are lonely. And I think I do YouTube partly to bridge that loneliness. And it helps me. So I'm not going to second guess it. Do positive things. I may do this, I may not, and that's okay if you go down a path and then decide not to do that. So here's some things that I typed out, printed up, that I may give with some black eyed peas to like the people in the market that I get food from, maybe the bar where I drink, the front desk where I live, and just little packets of black eyed peas with this in French saying, Happy New Year, eat black eyed peas on the 1st. They bring you good luck. Thanks. Something like that. Am I going to do it? I don't know. Maybe. I've got everything I need, so I hope I do. You know, it's okay. Life isn't perfect, and the holidays can be the most stressful because we're on our own. We're doing our own thing, and especially in America, it's all individual. I can, me. It's not so communal. In France, they have a 35-hour work week, and they fight for their rights. Workers in America are stepped all over. All over. Unions are like a bad thing. But for some reason, the board of directors of a corporation, who are all very, very rich and getting richer because of the way they vote on all the issues of the corporation, somehow they're okay. Chamber of Commerce, they're okay. But the unions, we've been taught this, which is bad enough, but it's even worse to believe it. I had a guy ask me once, I didn't hardly even know him. He goes, Are you a Christian? I forget what we were talking about. I don't even know this guy. He goes, Are you a Christian? And I go, What's a Christian? And he goes, Jesus Christ is your personal Savior. That was his definition. I didn't want to get into all that. What I could have said is, well, what if God is my personal Savior? What if I just go straight to God without going through somebody in the Christian religion or Hindu religion or Muslim? What if I just deal with God, me to God? And I'm sure he would have said something. No, you got to go through. You got to go through this guy. Just funny, crazy. I had somebody not too long ago, I don't know, kind of come at me somewhat. I thought it was pretty arrogant. I don't really even know him that well. But they said, I feel sorry for you. And I go, well, I feel sorry for everybody. It's a rough world. We're destroying equality and democracy and humanity, and we're destroying Mother Earth. I feel sorry for everybody. And we have to do the best we can to move in the right direction. We've been moving in the wrong direction for a long time. And they also said, you need to look at yourself. And I just said, well, you need to look at yourself. And they looked a little shocked, like, yeah, you just said that to me. You look at yourself for judging somebody like that you don't even know very well, and that's older than you. You're supposed to respect your elders somewhat. We've been through more. It's not an easy ride. But this idea of you need to look at yourself. The Greeks, I think it was the Greeks saying an unexamined life is not worth living. See, I don't believe that. I believe more in Taoism, this idea of you're naturally good and focused and God is in your heart. The spirit or the Tao, it's right here. And you follow your path, and you don't have to have all these teachings and all this. You don't have to have a religion. You don't have to have somebody else tell you what you're supposed to think. God will tell you, or the Great Spirit, or the goodness in your heart. You're walking down the sidewalk, somebody falls. Almost everybody stops to help. It has nothing to do with your religion. Nothing. It's your humanity. It's here. It's innate. We are good. We are good. What's the problem? We create bad societies. We're shitty citizens. I taught government. I taught history. We have to move toward better citizenship. Voting, electing, more legislation that is good and noble. More equality, of course. We're so unequal. America's about as unequal as we've ever been. Who's talking about it? Almost nobody. Much of the media is owned by the richest people, and they're buying more of it. And they don't say nothing about that. Yeah, it's sad. Sad, sad, sad. But there's a movement all around the world of working people who are losing this idea of a middle class life, which means a good and decent life. What's also kind of sad, we've never really looked at the poor, saying, man, these guys have bad lives. That didn't do enough. The middle class had to go down close to poverty or in poverty to have enough people that really said, hey, this isn't right. We've got to fight. And the rich have just taken so much. And the people can only take so much here and just say, hey, this isn't right. I can't pay my rent. I can't buy a home. My children are even worse off than me. It's a crime. We're surrounded by these crimes that our governments perpetrate. You can say it's the private sector, but the government's in charge of the private sector. We've just been taught to, don't touch that, They need to cut their taxes and cut taxes on corporations. And yeah, it's all sick. It's all sick. But this is the day of light, moving toward light. That's what I see. Away from this darkness we've been led into and followed. We followed it. I was going to say this quote that I kind of like about, maybe part of it is about materialism and getting things. And the guy said, you in the West, he said, you in the Western world, you want to gain something every day. You want to get something every day. He's saying, us in the East, like in Taoism, we want to let go of something every day. Let go of something. Yeah, materialism has corrupted so much. Why would these people follow Jesus? Because he said, sell all your things and give the money to the poor. They don't want to do that. So it's kind of hypocritical. It's very hypocritical to be materialistic but then say, I like Jesus. What? He said, pay your taxes, render unto Caesar. He said, sell your things, give the money to the poor. He said, how you treat the least of mine is how you treat me. Not how you treat the billionaires. He didn't say that. He said, how you treat the least of mine. When they're in jail, you go visit them. We're so angry and cruel these days. We're not talking about that, although that's what's in Matthew 25:35. So I think some of the lies that have been told for so long are those chickens are coming home to roost. They're being avoided by a lot of the really powerful people. Why? Because the rich and powerful are like a team. The problem is the workers aren't like a team. We've been divided, and we've let ourselves be divided. But the rich, they probably use the same lobbyists and lawyers and investment banks and hedge funds and private equity firms. What's his name? Anyway, the great senator that actually talks about this stuff and will tell you there's about 10 corporations that own everything, and it's scary stuff. But I'd rather have reality than be told lies that make you not afraid of the truth. Yeah, the truth is kind of scary, the way the money has been concentrated and lies have been perpetrated. And we've been used and abused, and so is the earth. But times move. Today's the first day of winter. The light's coming. I believe the light is coming. I printed this out. 10 of the worst pardons that Trump gave this year. Unbelievable. Some of the people giving, $1 billion to his crypto corporation, or a guy that was convicted of helping distribute hundreds of millions of tons of cocaine in the U.S. I don't know. Something really sick like that. Sick. And we're blowing up boats of people that we really don't know. We have no evidence. It's called due process. It goes back at least to the Magna Carta, 1215. This idea, you can't, they got tired of the king doing that. Hey, throw him in jail. Wait a minute. What did he do? Tell us what he did. Due process. Why are you throwing him in jail? I don't know how many people America has killed in these boats. Sickness. Unbelievable. It's on our backs. We've created this situation that we must change out of. So I wrote this down. I'm going to read it just for kicks. 4:03 p.m. Happy winter solstice. The grace of more light. Survival during the cold times. More light. Celebrate rarity of life, our rarity. Individual, communal, fantastical essence we are. You are most certainly divine. We are certainly divine. Yes, Merry Christmas, but with hope to actually follow such teachings and sell your things and give the money to the poor. I have no religion. I see them as divisive. God or the gods or this universe is not supporting our destruction of good, clean energy in our hearts and all around this planet of diversity. God's hope we can do better. We can do better. There seems to be a movement toward better legislation, which will create better communities, better government. Better citizens can make better government, can make better legislation, which will make better communities and better life for all. My God, they had the climate change conference in Brazil last month, or this month earlier. We didn't even go. The biggest worldwide problem facing everybody. Burning fossil fuels, turning up the heat, melting the glaciers, changing the ocean currents, the intensity of the storms, the flooding, the droughts, the fire, which increases the costs. People are talking about, hey, things cost too much. Okay, but you're gonna act like global warming isn't happening? Which increases the cost on all these things. One of the reasons electricity was going up partly is these data centers and all this AI bullshit that sucks it all. And of course, we pay tribute to the richest people that say, hey, this is going to be good for you. No, it's going to be good for them, number one. But also the infrastructure of the electrical grid that is destroyed in these storms and fires. They have to rebuild. So let's wake up. I think we are. It doesn't matter what happened in the past. We are here now. Let's take care of each other. Some have fallen so far, they don't have the basics. The basics, food, water, housing, safety. And then like a sense of belonging, healthcare, education, transportation, a decent job, respect. I'll probably do this on Christmas Day. I'll probably do this on New Year's Day. I want to be like my mother, cheerleading people. I want to make them feel good. My father was more, he wanted to make a good society. He didn't focus on the individual as much, and that's awesome too. We need both. We need a little of both of those inside ourselves. Just remember how, wonderful you are. See how beautiful these are? Wow. You're just like these. You're just like these. Wow. Knockout. You are a spiritual knockout, my friends. More light. We're moving into more light. Give thanks for that.